Okay, welcome to room number 2. I tell you what, man, Saturday mornings, I'm just loving the vibes on Saturday mornings, you know. And I tell you what, it's so good to see this guy again in the studio.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good to have you in the building, sir.
It's good to be
How you
back,
doing?
Maggie. Yeah, I'm all right.
You're
How are
good.
you?
You're good.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Universal Show. So we were just saying off the record, you know, like when we first had you on the show, it's like, special, man. I wasn't used to all this, you know. But I know you're ready this morning.
Yeah.
Who we got in the building this morning, man?
Yo, it's myself, George the Poet, man.
George
good to be
the
back.
Poet. Wow. Tell you what you been up to, brother?
I've just been active, just putting out new music. Had that song with Chasing Status. Got a brand new single now. What do you reckon? I've got my tour coming up in October. Active.
Very active.
Yeah.
So how's the journey been? Because I know, like, when I first interviewed you, it was probably one of the first interviews you ever done. And it's like, you know, things that might have been, you know, all new to you. And that. How are you feeling now about the whole, you know, music industry? How you feeling?
I feel comfortable, man. I think I understand how everything works.
Yeah.
You know, I think people know what I'm about to.
Yeah.
Know what not to come to me with.
Okay.
You know, and it's yeah, we're all happy, man.
Yeah. So when you say people know what to come to you with or not to come to you with, what do you mean? Expand on that. What do you mean?
Well, obviously, the social element of what I do has always been paramount, and any compromise of that is unacceptable. That's all it is. So whether it's a company, a brand that wants to hit me up with some sort of publicity thing, or a musician who wants to do a tune with me, people know what I'm about.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's a very deep, conscious side to George the Poet as well. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, it's the anchor.
Political side as well?
Yeah, inevitably.
Yeah. So one of the things that we didn't touch on, you know, like when you first came, and I didn't know this until you'd actually left, was the whole Princess Trust thing. We didn't even touch on that. Was you involved in that some way, shape or form?
Yeah, a little bit. Like,
Was you involved in that?
I've been involved in a couple of charities, Princess Trust, business in the community, Centre Bali, which I'm an ambassador for.
Okay, explain to me a bit more about that as well.
Centre Bali is a charity that tackles HIV amongst teenagers in sub-Saharan Africa. It was co-founded by Prince Seeiso of Lesotho, which has, I think, the highest concentration of HIV/AIDS, and Prince Harry. So I'm an ambassador for their charity.
Oh,
so
wow. So why did you feel the need to want to get involved with that? Or was you approached? How did that work?
Yeah, they approached me still. Prince Harry approached me.
Yeah.
I was like, asked me to do a poem. Secondly, asked me to be an ambassador. And HIV/AIDS being such a big challenge in sub-Saharan Africa, is close to my heart. And I don't think I don't think the issue is taken as seriously as it should be in terms of like what we can actually do to have the first AIDS-free generation.
Right.
So that's what it's about. I talk a little more about it in my upcoming tour.
Okay.
There are three areas that I focus on: mental health, climate change, and HIV.
And that's the area I work in outside of being a DJ now.
Oh,
I'm a mental health worker.
All right.
Yes, that's what I do.
You know the importance of these things, man.
Very much
Just
so.
getting
Very
the
much
conversation,
so.
getting people to understand, like,
Yeah.
don't say certain things. You can adjust your attitude to, be a bit more accommodating, and we'll have a better society if everyone.
And one of the things about mental health as well, I think people just assume, like, these people are set this way. They don't understand there's always a story behind their situation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think the education on mental health is like is missing, especially in the media.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah. How do you feel that we could even bring that more to the forefront? Like even with you doing the music that you do is.
Yeah, like that's exactly what I'm planning on doing. I can't rely on anyone for what's it called? Valid or trustworthy journalism. Yeah. And that's what it is. We need people to pass on the story. This is how this happens. This is good for you, this is bad for you. But I only know what I know through experience.
Right.
So I try and share my experiences as a form of journalism.
Yeah. And do you know what I've got to admire as well? Because you're so young and like you've got such a older head on you as well. When you was growing up, would you around a lot of older people, like, to gain the wisdom that you have? Because you seem like, how old are you, 25?
Yeah.
25, but you seem like you're 55 mentally. Do you know what I mean?
Well, boy, I take that as a compliment.
No. Trust me, it is, bro. It is.
I always preferred the company of older people. On even back in the hood, on the block, the only time I was on the block is when I was just debating with the elders. Them like a lot of the elders turned Muslim, and we used to have a lot of religious debates. But it was all in good. It was all in good faith.
Yeah,
no pun intended. But yeah, that's all. Like I've always been like that.
Now, with your music, I think we touched on this the last time, but we didn't go into depth because of the time that we had. How has your music been able to transcend with people now, doing poetry that you do and still keep relevant with the sounds that are around today? How do you find that formula? How do you do it?
Well, I think I am a genuine fan of music.
Yeah.
Today, like people love to moan about modern music. I love today's music. I love yesterday's music. Recently, I was just putting together a Motown playlist. You feel me? I got my 70s kind of Evelyn Champagne King.
Whoa, listen,
don't rap with me, you know.
Wow, you know. Evelyn Champagne King.
Yeah,
wow, okay.
Candy State and all of that. Seasoned.
You're a DJ for you lying, you know. I just done a soundman or something.
Well, we had a system in the yard. You feel me? Like we had. Yeah, man.
Candy started. Wow. Okay.
There, so that's part of my upbringing.
Yeah.
And it just, even me and my brothers and sisters, when we sit around, this musical discussions just come out of us. So when I'm in studio, I'm channeling a lot. You feel me? I'm channeling a lot. I know what I love about some deep Ron Isley, Footsteps in the Dark. I can tell you, you know what I'm saying? What I love. Like, I've never been musically trained, but I know my music, you feel me? So I suppose that's why I have a lot of options in how I couch my poetry.
Right.
And that's the magic, just knowing how to present your words.
So tell me now. So with poetry, for people that maybe logged on this morning and they've never heard you before, just for argument's sake, is freestyling something that you do as well? So if I said to you now, George, say something about this mic in front of you.
Well,
is there something that you could do?
Yeah, well, I'm just very particular about my art. There's something I could do, but I'm a perfectionist. Bro. I want to do the best.
So is your stuff like really pre-written?
I'm like Eminem. Like we could do the freestyle thing and have a little joke, but I'm a nerd for this thing.
Right.
You feel me? I'm gonna go through everything. I'm gonna think, all right, but how can we get that rhyme a little bit sharper?
Right.
How can we communicate? How can we simplify? How can we distill that one there to its most potent form? You know what I'm saying? That's how I go about it.
Wordplay is very important to you.
Very important.
Very important.
Yeah.
So who's some of your favorite poet or rappers then?
Eminem, Nas, Jay-Z, Tupac, poets Maya Angelou, George Watsky, Black Ice. Obviously from the UK as well. I'm from the first generation grime kid. You feel me? I grew up listening to Gets, to Wretch, Bashi, Dizzy, Kane.
Wow.
You know, so Skepta. You know, like that. All of it. I'm channeling a lot. All of this, and of course, my dancehall. You know, like my Vibes Cartel's probably in my top 3 lyricists of all time.
Wow, love that.
You know,
love that.
Idonia, these people just expanded my brain.
Yeah. If you just logged on this morning, we've got George the Poet in the building. I'll tell you what, I'm liking the vibes this morning, you know. Yeah. So, Chase and Status.
Yeah.
Big guys in the game.
Come together.
Big guys in the game, man.
Yeah, man.
I mean, you know, how did that hookup come about?
They reached out to me. They were finishing their album Control. And they just had this idea of me doing a classic kind of poem in my classic way on a drum and bass tune. And yeah.
Wow. So is there things that you say, because you know you're saying like, you know, you're very particular about, you know, what you'll endorse or what you won't endorse. Have you ever been approached by artists where you think like, do you know what, guys, with all due respect, that's not going to work for me, or I can't be a part of that project? Yeah. How do you even get around, you know, getting out of a project if you don't want to be involved in it?
You've got to be honest with the man, innit? Just tell him, like, cause I don't want you to walk away and think, oh, why is George not answering my calls? He thinks he's too... I'll tell you the reason, innit? I don't like the tune. Yeah, I'm sure this is what I do like, and people respond to that better. If people catch feelings about that, that's kind of immature.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, most definitely. Okay, what do you reckon?
Yes.
What do you reckon?
I reckon you should do it. I reckon you should download it, play it, pull it up. I reckon you should do it all.
You reckon, yeah?
The lot. Yeah, man.
You know, I reckon as well, Will. I've got to say big up to Will this morning. No, Will, I reckon he should give some tickets away for his concert. Don't you think? We need one. Whoa, that's what I reckon.
All right. I'm hearing ya.
What am I to expect when I come to your show, George?
So my show's different this time around.
Yeah.
I'm building on everything you've seen before. It's the poetry, it's the songs that have become really popular, but there's a social outcome. Yeah,
Okay.
I've got instructions. I've got an app that you have to download, and the app has my lyrics for anything that you didn't catch. Obviously, it's got the video of of the performance, but it's also got a list of organizations and individuals in society that are trying to impact the issue that I've spoken about in the given poem or song.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's deeper. Like, I'm not just, if I'm out here saying, yeah, we can improve the community, let's prove it. Help me prove myself right. You feel me? If you believe.
If I'm to ask you, right, from a young man's perspective, what is one of the social, problems that we have in the community that is very close to your heart right now, that you feel like is not getting enough awareness in the media? Something that's close to you. Because I know, like, most of the times we hear things highlighted, especially about the guns and all that stuff and the drugs. Are there any other issues within the community that are very close to your heart, George?
I would say mental health is a big one.
Mental health is for you. Okay.
Mental health is serious, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's all about how you think about a problem. If you think that, like as we were saying before, someone is born, like, for example, I was seeing some homeless woman on the street just earlier, and I thought to myself, there was a time where I used to look at homeless people and think, how can you just sit there?
Yeah.
Like, how do you not get up and do something? But with a bit of time, a bit of growth, and just living life, I realized, like, everyone's brain is in a different space, cuz.
Yeah.
Everyone's brain is, first of all, wired differently. Secondly, subject to different experiences.
Yeah.
So if we can start having a richer conversation about that in the community, I feel like we take things a lot less personally.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes someone's done you wrong and you think it's about you. But no, maybe all that skunk that person's been smoking all this time has left them with psychosis. So they do act mad. Yeah. And you need to understand what psychosis is in order to know how to respond to that in a way that isn't personal and doesn't escalate the situation. Because escalation is another problem that we have.
That's right. Every bad reaction.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Chain reaction.
Chain reaction, most definitely. You know what? Pleasure,
Yeah, every time.
I love it this morning. What do you reckon? We're going to go into what do you reckon?
I reckon you should do it.
Can you give out your social network this morning, please, before you get out the door,
George the Poet. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, Insta, Facebook, I said already. All George the Poet spelled normally.
And I've got to do this morning because in past interviews, I keep neglecting them. I've got to give Media to Radio a big plug this morning. Can I big up Ian and Amika this morning? Can I do that?
Oh, done. Yeah.
We've got to do it, man. Big up Ian and Amika, man. Working hard, you know what I mean?
Every time.
No, man. All right, let's go into the track this morning. Thanks once again for George for coming down this morning. Much love, bro. And I'll definitely see you at the tour.
Yeah, man. I'll see you there.
I'll definitely
hold you to that.
No, I'll definitely see you at the tour.
All right.
All right, then. Peace.
Love.